Alright guys, I just thought I'd show you something that I've just picked up. Mantic Games, new company out of England. I think they've been in business for going on a year now, maybe a little bit shorter. Basically what they do is they produce plastic miniatures, and if you haven't seen these or checked them out, I'll put a link in the show notes not only to their website but also they've put up a fair few videos on YouTube as well. Basically what I did was I subscribed to their magazine. Now I thought I'd been gypped originally when I opened the package because this is all that had arrived. I obviously also ordered some of their miniatures just to have a look at them. But I got their journal, and as you can see it was actually inside the box. So there's issue 1 and issue 2, and if you haven't checked this out, it's full colour. It's got tips on how to paint, it's got information on their models, information on how to assemble them, and even some battle reports as well as background and fluff. The second issue, which just got released, is clearly on the Dwarves, and the first one is about their undead models. And as you can see there, it's really good. It's a quality magazine. It's quite small. I mean, it's only around 35-40 pages in length, but it's got some good tips in there. It's got some tips about how to pin models, how to base. Again, the colours. They're linked to Army Painter, so it's got some tips on how to use the Army Painter products as well. Everything from their spray paint to their basing materials to their range of paints, and then of course what they're most known for being their dips. So it's quite good. And I think it was, I think a year's subscription was something like, I don't know, about £12 or something like that. So it was about $24 for four issues of it. So it's pretty good value, and I think they're a company well worth supporting. Onto their miniatures. All their miniatures come in these hard video cases. They're a bit thicker than a DVD case, clearly, but for those of you who are old enough, like myself, like the old VHS tapes. Comes with the obligatory how to put things together, how to assemble stuff, and a bit more of fluff. And then it comes with your foam and your miniatures. Now this one here was actually a special edition miniature, if I can get it to focus. Hang on a sec, bear with me. Oh, there we go. This is the Dwarf Miner. And this actually came with, as a free miniature, metal miniature clearly, and it came free with the second edition of the Mantic Journal, their magazine. It's quite a cool little model. Basically a dwarf miner with like a wheelbarrow thing with a bit of an engine and stuff on the top, and then a big drill bit at the front. 3-part model, this bit here and there, and I'm assuming these will be released at some stage and have rules for it in the game. For those that aren't aware, they've released their own rule set. It's only about 20 pages long. It's out as a beta. I think the release of the actual rules is pretty soon, and it's going to come out with all their box sets. I had a look through. Again, it was a beta rule set. It didn't thrill me too much. I thought it was okay. I'm not a big fantasy player anyway, but certainly comes through with the rules. The figures are cheap enough, so it's definitely worth a look. Now onto the sprues. The sprues themselves are really good. You can see there the detail in the models is excellent. I've heard a few people say that they didn't like the actual dwarf models. I think it's more that they don't like the chunky sort of aspect of the sculpts more than the quality of the models themselves. The quality of the models is good. There's a range of accessories that come on here. You've got stuff from musicians, a commander and a standard bearer. The standard bearer in the case of the dwarfs is more akin to a pole with some barding and the like on it, but it fits into the theme and it's quite good. So you get a range of options between axes and that you can see over here to warhammers and the like, and it's quite good. Now this particular box set here is the command one, so it comes with the musicians and all the like, and it also comes with, if you can see there, that's one half, there's the other half of a bulldog, which you'll see in their fluff. All of the sprues seem to come with animals. The undead one comes with like a rat, cat looking thing. There's a dog looking thing for the elves, and I think the orcs are getting released quite soon, so they'll probably have something as well. As you can see there, posing options, As far as the legs go, clearly they're all moulded on, so they're fairly limited. But in a fantasy combat game, that's not that much of an issue, given that you're going to tend to have things ranked up and based up. So need them in fairly sort of compact sort of poses as it is. One of the other nice touches is you get this this model here, which is a dead dwarf. Which can be used obviously as a wound marker or a counter or whatever you want, and it's quite good when you have a close look at it. I don't know if you can pick that up or not. He's got his tongue hanging out, so it's quite amusing. There's a number of other things on these sprues as well, just as added as extras. There's a orc's head there that you could put on a base to tart up maybe one of the champions, a tankard of ale, and a few other odds and sods here and there. It's really good. It works out in Australian dollars. This command thing, you get 10 miniatures, and it works out that you're paying around $1.20 per miniature, and you can't go wrong. They've got a new video that's just come out as well, which basically details what they've got in their new big box set. So it's basically army box sets, and in those it works out that the figures are less than $1 a figure, so you really can't go wrong. I think they've got a box set of Army of Undead, and it's around £40, and it comes with over 100 miniatures, so even when you do the conversion, you're working at about 80 cents Australian to 90 cents Australian for a miniature. So if you're looking at getting into a war game, clearly I don't think they'll let you into a tournament with these if you're playing a Games Workshop thing, 8th edition Warhammer Fantasy. But if you're playing with your mates down at a local club, just in your own home, I'd definitely take a look at this range, because for cost, you can't beat it. I know for myself, not wanting to be a Games Workshop basher, but you know, paying $30 for a single dwarf miniature, I think is pushing the friendship somewhat. And when they want to charge me $50 or $60 for a box set of 16 figures, when I can go out and get these, which are of comparable quality, and actually have a bit more character, in my opinion anyway, for a fraction of the cost, I think they just can't be beat. So anyway, that's something I just picked up from these guys. Check them out. I think they're worth supporting. Cheers, all the best.